If you're not already there, you can lay yourselves down, make yourselves comfortable. That's just frightened the dog to death. You think she'd be used to it by now, but never mind. We are breathing in through the nose, blowing out through the lips. In through the nose, out through the lips. Arms alongside the body, legs lengthened away. Have a breath in. Breathe out, take the arms overhead, have a point through the toes and in. Breathe out, bring the arms down, relax the feet. Have a breath in. Breathe out, take the arms up, point through the toes and a breath in. Breathe out, bring the arms down, relax the feet. Have a breath in. Breathe out, take the arms up, draw the toes back, have a push through the heels and in. Breathe out, bring the arms down, relax the feet. Once more, breath in. Breathe out, take the arms up, draw the toes back, have a push through the heels and in. Breathe out, bring the arms down, relax the feet. Bend the knees, bring the soles of the feet onto the floor. Taking the arms out towards shoulder height, palms facing the ceiling. Have a breath in. Breathe out, drop the knees to the right. In as you hold. Out to the center. And in. Out to your left. In as you hold. Out to the center. Just right and left as you breathe. Just moving those knees each time you breathe out. Upper body nice and relaxed. Your knees come up from the left this time. You can stay in the center. Bringing the arms back down by your sides. We're going to straighten and bend just your right leg. Both knees bent, feet on the floor. And as you breathe in, straighten your right leg out along the floor. As you breathe out, slide it back towards you, bend the knee to come back to center. Just that right leg in as you lengthen the leg away, out as you slide it back. So straightening and bending as you breathe. If you do want to make it stronger, you can just hover the leg off the floor as you take it away and back again. If you need that support this evening, just simply slide it along the floor or along your mat, as I am, so that you are fully supported. If you straighten that right leg away, whether you're hovering or whether you're on the floor, make sure your pelvis doesn't tilt away from you. Press the lower back to the floor if it helps stabilize that pelvis. It shouldn't rock away from you. As the leg straightens, it should stay in that central position. Last couple. When that right foot comes back into place this time, we're going to do the same on the left. So as you breathe in, straighten the left leg out along the floor. Breathing out, bend the knee, slide it back towards you to center. In as you straighten it away. Out as you come back to center. Again, you can hover on this side if you want to make the exercise stronger. But whatever you're doing, that pelvis stays absolutely still. No rocking, no lifting, no tilting. All completely under control. See, strengthening your hip flexors here, your knee joints, flexibility of your hip and your knee. Four. Three. Two. One. When that right leg, left leg, has come back towards you this time, you can keep it there. Raising the arms up to the ceiling, palms facing each other. Drop the back of the shoulders into the floor, but keep the arms long, okay? And we're just going to drop your left arm over your head. Okay, so as you breathe in, just drop that left arm as far as it'll go. It doesn't matter whether it touches the floor, it might not. As you breathe out, bring it back upright. Just that left arm. In as you drop it over the head. Out as it comes back up. Right side of the body staying nice and still. That right arm is hanging up in the air above the shoulder. Doesn't move. Just the left arm. Make sure you don't arch your back as you take the arm overhead. Again, that position of the pelvis stays neutral. You can even press the lower back to the floor a little bit again for that stability. Strength in the arm, the shoulder, the chest, the upper back. Mobility in the shoulder joint. Couple more on this left side. When it comes back up to the top this time, you're going to let it stay there. And it's the right arm that's going to move. As you breathe in, drop your right arm over your head. Breathe out, bring it back up. So you're not reaching for anywhere, just rolling in the socket. Just let the arm go over the head to wherever it comes to. Breathing out, bring it back upright. Don't try and reach for the ceiling. Don't try and reach for the wall or the door behind you. Little softness in the elbow. Make sure you're not locking the elbow out. Keep it as soft as you can. Last couple on this right side. When that right arm comes up this time, you can relax both arms back down by your sides. Let them relax for a moment. As we are going to put it together, we're going to do arms and legs, opposite arms and legs, and alternating the direction. Okay? So knees bent, soles of the feet on the floor. Raising the arms back up to the ceiling, palms face each other, drop the back of the shoulders in the floor, keep them there. As you breathe in, take your right arm over your head, slide your left leg out along the floor, or hover it if you want to. Breathing out as you come back to center. Same the other way. Left arm goes over your head, right leg lengthens away. As you breathe out, bring the arm back up, slide the leg back to center. Right arm, left leg, out to center. Left arm, right leg, out to center. Keep it going as you breathe. Make sure that lower back stays flat to the floor. Don't arch as you lengthen the limbs away. Try and keep the center of the body exactly as it is. Try not to arch your back. Four. Three. Two. One. When the left arm and the right leg come back to center this time, you can relax the arms down. If you need to hug knees in or stretch them away, you can release the legs as well. And we'll go the other way. We're going to drop out. So back to your right leg, knees bent, soles of the feet on the floor. So try to stop the pelvis rocking from side to side this time. So again, press the lower back, fingertips on hips if it helps. Just your right leg. As you breathe in, drop it out to the right. Breathe out and up to the center. Just that right leg open. Out and close. So just that right side as you breathe. So going into the horizontal plane. The last sequence was all in the vertical plane. Upper body relaxed. Left leg not moving. Last couple on this right side. It closes next time. You can keep it there. And we'll open and close on the left, of course. So re-establish that stability in the pelvis. And then as you breathe in, drop the left knee to the left. Out and up to the center. In as you open. Out as you close. Open and close the left knee as you breathe. Keeping the right side still. Keeping the pelvis still. Keeping upper body relaxed. Lower back pressing the floor if it helps. Fingertips on hips as always if it helps. Couple more on this left side. And when that left knee comes up this time, you can hold it there. Raising the arms back up to the ceiling, dropping the back of the shoulders into the floor. This time, bending the elbows to 90 degrees. Elbows over shoulders, forearms parallel, but just your left arm. As you breathe in, drop your left arm out to the left. Breathe out, back up to the center. In as you open that left arm. Out to the center. Open and close on that left side as you breathe. Keeping the right side as still as you can. If you do need to drop that right arm back by your side, you can. If you can keep it up there, it's stronger, basically. Because you're trying to hold that right arm stable as you move the left. So we're trying to keep the shoulder girdle stable. So we're not allowing it to rock to open that shoulder. Lower back can still be pressing the floor. Don't forget pelvic stability, because as you open the arms, it can make you arch your back. 4, 3, 2, 1. When the left arm comes up this time, you keep it there. Do drop it by your side if you need to. We go to the right. As you breathe in, drop your right arm to the right. Breathe out, back up to the center. In as you open that right arm. Out as you close. Just open and close that right arm as you breathe. Left arm still, if you've got it up in the air. They do drop it by the side if it does get strong to keep it up there. Building strength, obviously, in the upper body. Around the shoulder joints. Good for your breathing. Four. 3. 2. 1. When that right arm comes up next time, you can relax the arms back down by your sides for a moment. Again, you can release legs if you need to, because it's strong on your joints, just holding them in that bent knee position sometimes. So, same as we did before, we're going to do opposite arm and leg, and we're going to alternate. Okay, so a full drop out. So knees bent, feet on the floor, arms up to the ceiling, drop the back of the shoulders into the floor, bend the elbows 90 degrees, elbows over shoulders, forearms parallel. As you breathe in, drop your right arm to the right and your left knee to the left. Breathe out and up to the center, other way. Left arm to the left, right knee to the right. Breathe out, back up to the center. Right arm, left knee to each side. Out to the center. Left arm, right knee to each side. Out to the center. Keep it going if you can. Coordination, of course. Trying to keep the center of the body absolutely central. Don't let the weight of the arms and legs drag your pelvis and your shoulders in different directions. Keep the whole of your back flat to the floor as much as you can. Four. 3. 2. 1. When your left arm and your right knee get to the top this time, you can relax the arms back down by your side. You can release legs away, or you can hug knees in, whichever direction feels good for you. So that's kind of the limbs, extremities, keeping the center of the body central and still. Always thinking about pelvic stability, shoulder girdle stability. We're going to pelvic clock. One of the few times you actually get to move your pelvis in Pilates. But it is important that you maintain that movement. This is really good for sacroiliac joints, where your hips join your spine. Okay, so it will help to build strength, but also keep mobility in your lower back, lumbar spine. So we're going to break it down, as we always do with every exercise we do. So if you think of your head as 12 o'clock, and think of your feet as 6 o'clock. Okay, we're going to pelvic tilt, and then we're going to arch your back. It's the arching that's the one you've got to be very careful with. On a breath in, pelvic tilt, draw your hips towards your ribs as if you're going to do a bridge. Okay, so you tilted your pelvis. As you breathe out, you're going to tilt your pelvis back the other way. So tailbone towards your feet to 6 o'clock. Your back should arch off the floor. Okay, so your little back bend. As you breathe in, pelvic tilt. Tilt the hips towards your head, 12 o'clock. As you breathe out, tilt your pelvis towards your feet, 6 o'clock. Move as you breathe. In towards you, out away. You're rocking your pelvis backwards and forwards. So when we straighten a leg away, we're trying to stop the pelvis doing this. We're now doing this movement, but it's under control. We want it to happen. So we're in control of how far we go. So you can really arch your back if you want to. Okay, just kind of dig your tailbone into the floor. You can really do a strong pelvic tilt. Try not to push into your feet. Use rectus abdominis, pelvic floor, to do your pelvic tilt. Last couple, 12 o'clock to 6 o'clock. Really good for your lower back. When you breathe away to 6 o'clock this time, you can let the pelvis relax back to center to release. Okay. Now the difficult one. Your right hip is 3 o'clock. Your left hip is 9 o'clock. You're not rocking from side to side like we've just done with 12 and 6, where we've rocked backwards and forwards. We're not going to tilt the pelvis and be rocking from side to side like this. What you need to feel is you are pressing into each side of your back, your lower back, the back of your hip. So you're not rolling onto one side and the other hip is lifting. You're literally vertically pressing the back of the hip into the floor. There is hardly any movement at all. It's more about muscle engagement, okay? So don't rock from side to side. Think of a seesaw, okay? If you press down at 3 o'clock, your right hip, try and press the right side of your lower back straight down into the floor. And then release it. And then try and press just the left side of your lower back into the floor. Should feel abdominal muscles on each side kick in, okay? Relax it. Push straight down into just the right side of your lower back. And release it. And just push down into the left side of your lower back. And release it. Just see if you can do a few more. It's difficult for you to see my hips. It's just as difficult for me to see your hips. But what I'm looking for is no movement in your knees or your legs. Because if your knees and legs start swaying from side to side, it means your pelvis is. So if you can just happen to be able to see your knees, the tops of your knees, you can keep an eye on them. If you can't, don't worry. It's such a subtle movement, but you can feel all your muscles working to make that happen. Because it's really easy just to rock from side to side, like, oh, yeah, that's fine. But to get that vertical press into each side of your lower back takes a lot of core strength. So building real strength around your spine, okay? And that sacroiliac joint, where your hips join your spine, okay? So, last couple, whichever side you're on, make sure the next time you press the left side of your back into the floor, you can release. Okay, yeah, release your back, stretch your legs away if you need to. Some of you will feel it more than others, okay? Some of you think, well, it's not happening. Others, you'll really feel what's happening, okay? But good for everybody, just to focus on this area for once. We're always say fighting to keep it still. We're now trying to move it. So we put it all together and we go around the clock. That's why it's called a pelvic clock. Okay, it is one that if you want to look it up online, Pilates pelvic clock, it does explain it all. Okay, if I haven't explained it very well, hope I have. So do remember, I do have all these exercises still on the laptop. If you need me to email you any particular exercises that you think are good for you and you want to practice a bit more of, just drop me a message and I'll email you the details of how to do that particular exercise, okay? Don't forget that's always available. So, we're going to go round the clock. So, we're going to go 12, 3, 6, 9. We're going to go around that way first. Breathe. Wherever you want to breathe. Try not to hold your breath. Normally, we practice this and everybody's holding their breath, pulling faces, because you're concentrating so hard on getting the movement right, which is not a bad thing, but it is Pilates. We want to be breathing, okay? So, 12 o'clock pelvic tilt. Tilt your hips towards your head. That's the one we all know. Now, we're going to roll it round to 3 o'clock. Just try and press the right side of your back into the floor. 6 o'clock, roll it round to your tailbone. Arch your back a bit if you can. Towards your feet. Come round to 9 o'clock, press the left side of your lower back to the floor. Come back to 12 o'clock, pelvic tilt. I can feel my muscles working. Back round to 3 o'clock, press the right side of your back into the floor. Roll it around to 6 o'clock, arching your back. Roll around, press the left side of your back into the floor. Come back to 12 o'clock, pelvic tilt. 2 more this way. Round to 3 o'clock, press the right side of your back into the floor. Down to 6 o'clock, arching the back, tailbone towards your feet if you can. Round to 9 o'clock, press the left side of your back into the floor. Come back to 12 o'clock, pelvic tilt. Last one this way. Round to 3 o'clock, press the right side of your back to the floor. Down to 6 o'clock, tailbone to your feet, arch your back. Round to 9 o'clock, press the left side of your back to the floor. Back round to 12 o'clock, pelvic tilt. Back the other way. Round to 9 o'clock, press the left side of your back into the floor, vertically, don't roll. Round to 6 o'clock, tilt your pelvis towards your feet, arch your back a bit if you can. Round to 3 o'clock, press the right side of your back into the floor. Back up to 12 o'clock, pelvic tilt. Round to 9 o'clock, press the left side of your back to the floor. Down to 6 o'clock, tilt your pelvis towards your feet, arch your back. Round to 3 o'clock, press the right side of your back to the floor. Back to 12 o'clock, pelvic tilt. 2 more if you can. Round to 9 o'clock, left side of your back into the floor. Down to 6 o'clock, pelvis towards your feet, arch your back. Round to 3 o'clock, press the right side of your back into the floor. Back up to 12 o'clock, pelvic tilt. Last one. 9 o'clock, press the left side of your back into the floor. 6 o'clock, tilt your pelvis away, arch your back if you can. 3 o'clock, press the right side of your back into the floor. Back up to 12 o'clock, pelvic tilt. And release back to center. Good. Not easy, very subtle, very powerful. Okay, so yeah, release legs if you need to. We are going to stick with pelvic tilts. We are going to bridge. Okay, so we're going to stretch that whole area out as we normally would. So knees bent, feet on the floor. Wider your feet are, the kinder it is on those leg joints, on your back. Arms down by your sides, palms into the floor. Can lift them up and away and with the hips if you want to. Can put your feet up on your settees or your chairs if you want to. Back of the neck long. Breath in, pelvic tilt, tuck the hips, just as we did. Breathe out, this time we are rolling those hips away from the floor, just coming as far as you can. Breath in at the top. Breathe out and roll the hips back and down. In pelvic tilt, tuck the hips, breathe out and roll those hips up. In at the top. Out and down, roll up and down as you breathe. So again, you can make your bridge very gentle. You can have a very relaxed roll up and down, focusing on mobility. You can do a very strong bridge where you're coming up as high as you are comfortable without forcing. You can be taking arms overhead. You can be leaving arms overhead and rolling up and down, which is your strongest bridge. If you want to do soles of the feet together, you can do soles of the feet together if you want to. But just make your bridge what you need it to be right now. Sometimes you feel really strong and sometimes you don't. Doesn't mean you can't practice. But you just do what you're comfortable to do. Obviously, if you're really feeling then you might want to do anything at all. And if you want to hold your bridge, don't give you the opportunity very often, but you can breathe and hold at the top of your bridge. If you want to make the most of that extension, that lengthening, opening up of the front of the body, right from your shoulders all the way to your knees. If you want that stretch, you can breathe and hold it there if you want to. By the same token, you can relax at the bottom if you need to. Okay, as always, don't feel you have to come up and down every time. Just do what feels right. That's all we can go with. 4, 3, 2, 1. The next time you do breathe out, if you're not already at the bottom of your bridge, you can carefully bring yourself down. You can hug knees in, you can stretch legs away. You can make what movement feels right for you. Good. We're all coming back to knees bent, soles of the feet on the floor. So you can be there when you're ready. If you need to shuffle around. Okay. We dropped knees out earlier. We are going to do our internal rotation this time. So straighten your right leg out along the floor. We'll do the left side first for a change. Okay. And then keeping your left knee bent, walk it as far out, the heel and toe it out to the left edge of your mat, or maybe beyond if it will go. So just that distance. This time, as you breathe in, you drop that left knee in towards your right leg, into the middle. As you breathe out, you open it back up. In as you drop the knee to the middle. Out as you open it up. So opening and closing that left knee. Or whichever leg you do, we're doing both sides anyway, so don't worry if you're doing the other side. But internal rotation of your hip joint. Good stretch for the quads in the front of your thighs. Good stretch for your knee joints. More towards the inner edge of your knee with this one. It's quite a difficult bit to stretch. Don't push the knee towards the floor. If it happens to touch the floor, it does as it drops in. But try and keep your foot as relaxed as you can. Remember, the more relaxed you can keep that left foot, the more relaxed the leg is, the more relaxed the hip joint is, and the more mobility you will get. As soon as you tense and tighten everything up, it restricts your movement. Okay. 4. 3. 2. 1. When that left knee opens up this time, you can walk the foot back to the middle, or whichever leg you haven't done. Bend your right knee. Straighten your left leg away. Walk your right foot out to the right, or your left foot if you did the other one the other time. As long as you do both, fine. And then again, as you breathe in, drop that knee into the middle towards the other leg. As you breathe out, open it back up. In as you drop the knee to the center. Out as you open it up. Okay. So again, just as you breathe. Keep the foot relaxed, keep the leg relaxed. Rest of the body is relaxed. Trying to breathe in as you drop the knee to the middle. Trying to breathe out as it opens, which is opposite to what your brain wants to do. Good. We're breathing out on the effort, which is to lift the leg back from that central position. Four. Three. Two. One. When that knee opens up this time, you can walk the foot back to the middle. Keep it there. And bend that straight leg back up towards you. Both knees bent. Feet back on the floor. We're going to double it up. Walk your feet as wide as they will go. Not elegant, but only I can see you. As you breathe in, drop both knees into the middle. Breathe out as you open them back up. In as you drop them to the middle. They might touch, they might not. Breathe out as you open them up. It's a lot harder to get the knees to drop when you do them both at the same time. And this again is one of those rare exercises you are allowed your pelvis to move. Because depending on the natural position of your pelvis, when you drop your knees together, it might make you arch your back. You are allowed to arch your back with this one. Four. Three. Two. One. When the knees open back up this time, you can walk them back to the middle. Now again, we're going to straighten your left leg out along the floor, keeping the right knee bent. On a breath in, drop that right knee out to the right and leave it there. So because we've internally rotated the hip, even though we did our dropouts earlier and externally rotated, you always try and finish with an open joint, okay? So leave that right knee dropped out. We're going to hold it there because that been closed already. And sometimes when you're working into a joint, depending on your body itself, you'll gain more mobility by doing repetitive movements, which is what we're used to doing with Pilates. But you can gain mobility by holding a particular position, okay? Because the weight of the leg and gravity will gradually, if you stay there long enough, if it doesn't already, the outside of your thigh would rest on the floor, okay? Believe it or not. You need to stay there for about 20 minutes for that to put the possibility of that happening. It might never happen, but if it's ever going to happen, 20 minutes is the time scale. But we're not going to stay there for 20 minutes, of course. But if you want to strengthen the stretch on the hip itself, or the knee joint, or the ankle, the closer your right heel is to your groin, the stronger it is on your joints and your back. The further away you take your foot down towards your left knee, your left calf somewhere, the kinder it is on your joints. So you possibly find the further away you slide that right foot, the more open the hip will go. The more you draw the heel up towards your thigh and your groin, the harder it is to open that hip. So you can always find where is the right place for you. Okay. So, having said all that, we're going to move again. So very carefully, have a breath in first. As you breathe out, bring that right knee back up to the center. Because it's been there for a while, it's flipping heavy, okay? So we use our out breath to make sure core muscles are engaged to help us get that leg back to the top. Traditional twist. Keeping your left leg straight, put your right foot on top of your left knee. You know where you're going now, hopefully. If you want to guide that right knee, you can bring the left hand across if you want to. You don't have to. You have a breath in, and as you breathe out, you're going to twist. So guide that right knee over towards the left side, rolling the back of the hips away from the floor, but definitely keeping the back of your right shoulder on the floor. That might mean that your right arm stays by your side, behind you. If you want to open the shoulder a bit more, you can take it out to shoulder height, arm facing the ceiling. If you want to carry it on up towards your head, you can take it as far as your shoulder will let you. Okay. So coming into our kind of full body twist, our traditional twist. I like to think it is our favourite twist. Hopefully it is. It's the one that we seem to have always gone with and liked. So when we were all together on the island, even, we've been doing it that long. It is such a good twist. But it comes around the outside of the hip, done a lot on the hips, comes down the outside of the thigh to the outside of the knee. We've been stretching the inside, etc. So just making sure that we balance everything back up when we do our stretches and our movements towards the end of the session. We want to release everything if we can. If you have taken your right arm away from your body, you can bring it all the way back down and release your shoulder. Have a breath in as you breathe out, roll your hips back up to the center, so you're back in the middle. And you're going to hug that right knee to your chest. If you need to support your back, slide, yeah, that's it, brilliant. You slide your left foot back towards you and bend the knee, and that will support your back. Because if you want to, you can straighten your right leg up to the ceiling. You can slide the hands around the back of the leg if you want to. You can drop the arms to the floor. Some people don't like to hold, but you can hold if you want to. If you do want to finish it off with a flourish, you can bring upper body up to meet that leg if you want to. If you want to come right into rectus abdominis. But try and keep shoulders relaxed, whatever you're doing with your arms. Try and push into that right heel. We want to extend through the back of the leg as much as we can. Doesn't mean the leg's going to straighten. But we want that extension if we can get it. Big stretch for your lower back. Done a lot of work in that area again this evening. If you've got both legs straight, draw your left toes back towards you as well. If you've got knee bent foot on the floor, keep it there. Okay. So again, you can make it quite a gentle stretch, kinder stretch, or you can make it really, really strong and extend everything. Okay, if you want to. If you have got your left leg straight, everybody, slide that left foot back towards you, knee bends, foot comes back to the floor, it releases your back. Everybody, bend your right knee into your chest, bring upper body down if you brought it up. Give it a squeeze if you want to, a bit of an extra stretch. And then bring that right foot down to the floor and slide it away. So your right leg is straight and your left knee is bent. We're going to open that left hip and we're going to keep it there. On a breath in, drop that left knee out to the left and breathe. So we're holding that open position. The further away from you that left foot is towards the end of your mat, the kinder it is on your back and your joints in that left leg and that left side. The more you draw the heel up towards the groin, the stronger it is on your back and your hips and your joints. So you choose where that left foot goes, whether it's away from you or closer to you. So you're feeling as much of a stretch as you want to, as much of an opening in the hip as you want to. We're not forcing anything to happen. We're trying to let body weight, gravity open up for us. We've done all the hard work, doing it ourselves. So we're letting external forces take over a little bit. We're still breathing. Control isn't just about control of the body, whether it's moving or whether it's still, it's about control of your breath. A couple more breaths this side. I'm trying to keep it even, of course, as much as I can. If you need to practice one side more than the other, when you're practicing on your own, you hold it for as long as you want to, as long as you're comfortable. Say anything up to 20 minutes if you want to. Good. Have a breath in. Breathe out very carefully. Bring that left knee to the top. It is heavy. Good. Into our familiar twist. Put that left foot on top of your right straight leg. You can bring the right hand across for a guide if you want to. I do it because I've always done it, basically. It doesn't feel right if I don't. Have a breath in, and as you breathe out, you twist to your right. So you're taking your left knee over to that right side. Back of the hips rolling away from the floor. Back of your left shoulder definitely on the floor. You might keep that left arm by your side, kind of on the shoulder. You might take it out to shoulder height, palm facing the ceiling. You might take it up to the head on this side. Doesn't matter if it's different to what you did on the other side. We are not symmetrical beings, remember? But our Pilates practice, we're looking to close any gaps as much as we can. But it doesn't mean both sides will do exactly the same. So don't force a side if it doesn't do what the other one was doing. And it's odd to say in such a strong twist, which it is. I've said we've done it so often, but it is a strong twist. Try and relax as much as you can. Don't force yourself into it. Try and relax into it a little bit more. The more you can relax, the more mobility you get. Okay? You can have strength in the muscles, but it doesn't mean you always have to engage them. Just enough tension to keep you where you are is a good phrase to go with. That's why your face should always be relaxed. Your fingertips and your toes generally should always be relaxed, because they're not really involved with anything else that's going on. So you're not using them to make a movement. They should be relaxed. Have a breath in. Breathe out, roll back up to the center. Bring the arm down if you need to. Cool. Bring that left foot to the floor first if you need to, but we are going to hug it to the chest, of course. So hugging that left knee. If you need to support your back, slide that right foot in, bend the knee, give your back that support. If you want to straighten your left leg up to the ceiling, you can straight up or hamstrings on the side. My hamstrings are a lot tighter on the left than the right. That's how it is. But doesn't mean I can't work into that, but pushing through the heel, trying to get some more length if I can, but not forcing it. It might be the back of your knees tight, it might be your calf. Get the stretch that you want and try and maintain it with a nice steady breath. If you have got your right leg straight, try and draw those toes back towards you as well, if you want that extra extension. Shoulders relaxed wherever you are, but can bring upper body up on this side if you want to. So a couple of you already there. So yeah, if you know where you're going, you don't have to wait for it. Because sometimes I do forget where we're going. So it is a single leg stretch, but predominantly to stretch your back. Okay. Good. You have raised your upper body, you can roll it down. If you've got your right leg straight still, everybody slide it back in so the knee is bent. Then everybody bend your left knee in towards your chest, release the stretch. Give it a hug if you just want to release the joints. Bit of an extra stretch into your back. Bring that left foot to the floor and keep it there. Both knees are now bent, feet on the floor. The one you've all been waiting for. Bring the soles of your feet together, let your knees drop wide. Again, the closer the heels are to your groin, the stronger it is on your back, your hips, your knees, your ankles. Further away your feet are, the stoppage. If you haven't already, I saw some arms move then already. You can take arms out to shoulder height. You can drop them over your head. You can fold your arms. You can rest your hands on your abdomen, your thighs. Find a comfortable spot. So this is releasing the whole of your spine from top to bottom, wherever you put your arms and legs. Releasing all tension from your body as much as you can. Because your brain is thinking, I need to support those hips. Because the gravity and your body weight is pulling those hips open as your knees drop closer to the floor, possibly. But if you do need to release a little bit, just slide your feet further away. And that will take out some of the tension if you're not comfortable. Again, your back can arch with this one. It is about restoring the natural curves in your spine. And because we're not moving and putting weight on your back, it's okay for it to arch. That's kind of how it works, why it's allowed. Boost your immune system, this one as well. So if you can get your body into this position as often as you can. If you're feeling a bit under the weather or you want to prevent things attacking you. As it kicks in your parasympathetic nervous system, your relaxation responses, believe it or not. And it's that kicking in of that parasympathetic nervous system that kicks in the feel-good hormones. Serotonin, melatonin, all that kind of thing, I think it is. And it's the production of those that boosts your immune system. So that's why it all works, okay? The most restorative position you can put your body in is this one. Bound angular, it's called. Good. If you have taken your arms anywhere away from your body, you're going to bring them back down. That doesn't mean you have to go up to the ceiling. You can gently bend elbows and come down the sides of the body if you want to, kind of on your shoulders. Always, always, one leg at a time. Slide one leg out along the floor or bring the knee up and then slide. Once that leg's there, you can take the other one away. Legs lengthened away, arms down by your sides. Have a breath in. Breathe out, take your arms overhead, have a point through the toes as strongly or as lazily as you want to. Breath in as you hold. Breathe out, bring the arms down, relax the feet. Have a breath in. Breathe out, take the arms out, draw the toes back, have a push through your heels and in. Breathe out, bring the arms down, relax the feet. Thank you all very much.